Okay, welcome in. What I want to try to do now is something I did last year, which was basically just a review of how the teams did and looking at their free agency potential players. And with that being said, I also have to load up two different phones here, so I got so much technology in front of me, it's insane. What am I looking for here? Scores. So the first team I'm going to be taking a look at are the San Jose Sharks. I will get to their record in just a second, and to put it bluntly, it was not a very good season to say the least. So they finished with 19 wins, 54 losses, 9 overtime/shootout losses for 47 points, and dead last in the NHL. They haven't made the playoffs since 2019, so that's basically 5, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, 5 straight years without any postseason action in San Jose. So I'm sure if you're a Sharks fan, you're going through a hell of a time. This is clearly a rebuild. They've gotten rid of a lot of their veteran players. The only veteran players they have left on their team are Logan Couture and Mark Vlasic, in my opinion. Whether they move on from those contracts, that's very hard to debate because you would probably need a third team to take on a little bit of that money because I think Couture was interviewed when after Hurdle was traded to Vegas, and he said that no one wants a guy in my position who's in his mid 30s, very high contract. It's very hard to get rid of those contracts that are eating up a lot of your cap. Okay, so starting with Philip Zadina, I don't believe he has been signed. Like I said, I have 2 different phones going on here, so I'm looking at 2 different things. But I'm pretty sure he still has yet to be re-signed. If he does re-sign with anyone, if he does sign with anybody, it's going to be tough because he didn't have that good of a term with Detroit. Then he came to San Jose on a very cheap contract. I'm sure he's going to look for more than $1 million. But is someone going to give him a multi-year contract? That's pretty much up for debate. Henry Thrun, again, unless something I'm not seeing in front of me is there, but I believe he is still a pending RFA, so I'm sure the Sharks will try to re-sign him as a top 6 defenseman. Jake Stadnicka, I believe is how you pronounce his name. His contract is also up, so what the Sharks do with him is really up for debate. With that being said, let me just take a look because they have made a couple of trades, so I got to make sure that I don't screw this up. Okay, yeah, his name is not on any of these trades or signings, so I believe he is still a free agent. Jacob McDonald, again, pending free agent, but the thing with him is he's an UFA, which means anybody can make an offer. When you're an RFA, especially when you're 22, 23, 24, coming out of your rookie contracts, you're still a restricted free agent, and you do have an X amount of time to sign with your team, but I'm pretty sure the NHL got rid of other teams making crazy offers for players, because I remember that bit Nashville in the butt when Philadelphia made a huge offer for Shea Weber, and Nashville had to match it because I'm pretty sure that was the same offseason that they lost Ryan Sutter to Minnesota, so they really couldn't afford to lose both of those defensemen. But I'm pretty sure when it comes to players now, other teams can't make crazy long 10-year contracts. I'm pretty sure they got rid of stuff like that. But anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. So yeah, Jacob McDonald is a UFA, so he could sign anywhere he wants. Kevin LeBanc. Now this is interesting because him along with Couture and Vlasic, I believe, are the last remaining players from that 2019 Stanley Cup run to the Western Conference Finals, and I believe he had the game-winning goal against Vegas in Game 7. So he's not a veteran player yet. He's getting there because he's 27, 28, so that's mid-career-ish, if that makes any sense. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes unless San Jose brings him back, but I'm sure he wants to go and be on a competitive team, and not trying to disrespect the Sharks, but they are in a major rebuild, and I don't see them coming out of that basement in that Pacific Division anytime soon. Luke Kunin, again, just like LeBanc, I'm pretty sure he's just a UFA, so whether the Sharks bring him back or whether he decides he wants to try his luck elsewhere, again, that's up for debate. And I just keep checking back and forth between the phone because, again, there have been a few trades, so I just want to make sure I don't screw this up. Mike Hoffman, another veteran guy, 33, 34 years old, has definitely taken a step back since his time with Ottawa, and it's a shame because he was a top 6 guy there, and he did rack up goals and assists, but lately it seems like he's not averaging what he used to back in his prime. So if a team does take him, I can't see them giving him a huge contract. The only reason he was at 4.5 was because Montreal did offer that him 2 years ago, and of course he's going to take $4.5 million. Who wouldn't? I would. So I'm sure if anyone signs him, he might sign for like 2.5 or 3 million, maybe on a 1 or 2 year deal. I don't see it being very long term for Mike Hoffman. Ty Emberson. Just going to check and see if I see his name anywhere. Nope. So I believe he is also a free agent as well. Ryan Carpenter, an original Shark, I believe. Well, I know he did play for the Sharks back in like the mid to late 2010s, early 2020. And then I think he went to Vegas. He's kept been kind of everywhere. So another veteran bottom six guy. I'm sure if he wants to go on a team that he believes can contend for a Stanley Cup, he would be a fantastic bottom six and especially center for any team. Thomas Bordelou, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And again, I keep checking on the phone. I don't see his name on any trades. Yeah, so he is also a RFA, just like the other guys who are in their early to mid-20s. So we'll see what kind of contract he gets this upcoming offseason. And Alexander Barbanov. I don't see his name either. He is also a UFA. So they have quite a few guys that need to be signed, but whether they do or not is another question. And Justin Bailey, 28 years old, he would be a UFA if he doesn't get re-signed by the Sharks. I'm sure he could probably make about $1 million. I mean, he was on the league minimum at $775,000, so I'm sure he'll be looking for a little tiny bit of a pay raise if it's possible. And Kalen Addison. He did come over from the Minnesota Wild. His contract has expired, and 23, 24 years old. Again, he could be coming out of his rookie contract when it says $800,000. I'm pretty sure when it's under $1 million, you're on like a rookie contract, or unless you're a veteran player making very little money, like Perry or whatever the case may be is. So again, I feel like he's probably coming out of his rookie contract making that much. So again, his talent, I'm sure can excel at his position being a right-handed shot defenseman. I'm sure he'll be looking north of $1 million for his new contract. And that takes care of all of the RFAs and potential UFAs for these San Jose Sharks. I will take a quick little gander at their goaltending situation. Now, what's very interesting to me when it comes to the goaltending situation is over the last year or so, it seems that the Sharks and Devils just basically swapped goalies. So Devin Cooley did come over from the Nashville Predators. He is the only goalie that's not under contract. Where does he go? Only he and his agent and other team would know. Vitek Vanacek, if I pronounce that name correctly, Vitek Vanacek, he came over with a trade this season with the New Jersey Devils over to the Sharks. He has 1 year left to go on his contract. And last offseason, I believe Mackenzie Blackwood was traded to the Sharks. So it's been a bit of a reunion for both of those goaltenders. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that takes care of all the RFAs and UFAs for the San Jose Sharks. What happens again on Monday, only time will tell. No one really on that list, I apologize, really stands out to me. Like I said, maybe Ryan Carpenter, because he has played for Vegas, who went to the Cup Finals, so he does have that veteran experience and playoff experience as well. He's like the only guy on that list I could see someone really wanting on their team. Not to try to disrespect anybody else, but again, this is just my opinion, and of course my opinion could be wrong, but I just truly think that Ryan Carpenter is probably the one guy that stands out for me, but who knows what will actually happen. So I just want to say this one little thing, that a couple of trades did happen that I can report for the Sharks. If someone left that team, I will also talk about them on their new team when I do my review for that particular NHL squad. So the Sharks traded away Ozzy Weisblatt, I believe, for Igor Afanasyev, and he played for the Nashville Predators. I'm guessing because he's not on the roster, Ozzy must be on their affiliate squad, which would be the Barracudas, if I'm not mistaken. And the Sharks also traded away just future considerations to the Detroit Red Wings for Jake Wallman. So Jake Wallman is now a defenseman for the San Jose Sharks. And then when I get to Jake Wallman on his previous team, which was Detroit. So when I do Detroit's review, I will talk about this signing as well. So I should also mention that Detroit gave their second round in this year's draft to the San Jose Sharks for future considerations. All right, so I believe that takes care of that. And yeah, so I do plan on uploading videos for all of these teams. And if the game doesn't update, and I highly doubt they're going to update now because I guarantee they're going to focus on NHL 25. But say if I were in the future where if I said, oh, this person's contract expired, but they actually signed an extension, I will certainly make sure that I include that. Again, had I looked at the list and any of these players, had they re-signed with the Sharks, it would have been on that list. But all they've really done, oh my God, I'm stuttering my words. All they've really done has just been making trades. God, can I English today? Anyways, this has been an extremely long video, and if you happen to tune in from start to finish, I appreciate you and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.